If you're struggling to move on from a breakup and you so deeply want that one last conversation for closure, for understanding, for them taking accountability, I want you to pause and ask yourself, if you had that, would it actually take away the pain? Would it actually give you the closure that you're looking for? I know you're probably feeling so lost and heartbroken and confused right now, but the reality is sometimes things don't make sense. It might not make sense why the relationship ended right now, but what you can do is put this time and energy back into yourself, and we're going to walk through a couple things that you can do to help give yourself a sense of peace, understanding, and closure that's going to help you walk away from this experience feeling like such a better version of yourself and giving yourself the peace and clarity that you're looking for. There's a huge misconception that a lot of people have that closure is going to come from that person, that once they take accountability for what they did or apologize, I'm going to feel so much better because they're going to see it. They're going to know the pain that they've caused me. That can become a vicious cycle where you stay in the hurt because that keeps you tied to the relationship. There's always going to be a rabbit hole of more questions that you can go down. But instead of going down that, I want you to pause and pull your energy back and redirect that back to yourself. As cliche as it may sound, this really is the time to put all of your energy into self-love and take care of yourself, because the more you focus on them and the pain that they caused, the deeper you're going to go and hurt, and the harder it's going to be to move forward. I had a client who came to me because she just couldn't move on from a relationship, and she was so heartbroken and so sad. But in one of the first sessions we had, I gave her an exercise to do at home where I said, get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left-hand side, write all of the qualities that you want in an ideal partner and relationship. You know, what kind of communication do you want? How do you want them to show up for you? How do you want to work through problems? And I asked her to get so clear on that. And then after she did that, on the right-hand side, I wanted her to write all of the realities of her relationship and what it was really like, the good and the bad. She came back to me in the next session with a completely different frame of mind and seeing the relationship so differently, because everything that she wanted in a partner actually wasn't there in her relationship. It was very eye-opening, because a lot of times what we do after a breakup or a relationship is we idolize this. We think about this as like, well, this was my partner, the love of my life, this was my soulmate. We look at it in the relationship rearview mirror that shows us all of the great times, but it's not remembering all of the times that we were hurt, that we were let down, that they didn't show up. If you were to be honest about all of the problems in the relationship, and instead of looking through the rearview mirror of all of the great things and the rose-colored glasses of how great the relationship was, try being really honest with yourself. It's okay to feel heartbroken. It's okay to think about the good times and miss certain parts of that person in that relationship. But at the same time, you also want to be really honest about what were the red flags. Even take it a step deeper. Where did you not show up for yourself in the relationship? Where were you not true to yourself? Did you not bring up conversations because you were worried it would cause a fight or push them away? Did you not address communication issues? Did you not talk about certain values you had or the future, what you wanted? Did you hold back at any part in the relationship where you would want to do this differently next time, so that you're making sure that you're being heard and your needs are met? A lot of times, and especially with women, I see people where maybe something upset them or something hurt them, or they're wanting to bring up an issue to work through it in the relationship, and they hold back over and over because they're so worried that if they bring it up, it's going to cause more issues. But at the same time, do you want to have a life or a marriage with somebody where you can't bring up the issues, where you can't talk through things and see each other's point of view and come to some sort of understanding of how the other person feels at the end of it? So thinking about for yourself, what are your non-negotiables, and where did you not prioritize that for yourself in this relationship, and what would you want to do differently? Doing all of these steps is what's giving you closure, because you start to see the relationship through a different angle. Instead of the heartbroken and I love this person and I miss them, you're starting to see it through the eyes of, oh wow, like I really didn't show up for myself there, or I wish that I would have handled this differently. Not to say to go back in time and like criticize yourself on that. This is a journey to learn and explore and see what you want to do differently going forward and with your next partner. And it also shows you areas that you need to strengthen. Maybe you need to strengthen self-validation. Maybe you need to strengthen loving yourself and raising your standards, or having the confidence to not people please and bring up issues in relationships, and knowing that if you bring up an issue or something that's a need for you, if the other person doesn't meet that need or understand it or hear you, like that's also a problem. And do you want to be with someone who wouldn't show up for you in that way? This gives you the opportunity to sit back and reflect and see how can you grow and evolve from this experience. So much of the closure that you're looking for doesn't come from that conversation you think you need to have with that person. It actually comes from gaining clarity and being able to sit and reflect on how you handled things in the relationship, what you would do different, and how you can have more love for yourself and higher standards and show up differently in the next relationship. This is where the real healing begins. The real healing begins by taking that time to invest back in yourself and reflect. If you want to go even deeper, I put together a PDF of some journaling prompts and other tools to help as you go through the process of how to heal and move on from the breakup. Make sure to get that download in the description, and make sure to hit subscribe. I'm uploading videos each week to help you grow into your most fulfilled and best self. A question you can also ask yourself if you're wanting to see the reality of the relationship is, if your best friend was telling you this and sharing the things that went on in the relationship, what advice would you give them, or what would you say? Why I like this question is because it takes us out of our own experience, because a lot of times we might hold back from sharing things to a friend that we might be embarrassed about, or if we're not speaking up for ourselves, or if we're settling for less than what we deserve. It gives you a different frame of mind, and this also helps your self-talk and how you talk yourself through some of the emotions and experiences that you're having. Because it's normal to be sad and heartbroken. It's normal to go through all of the cycles of grief, from anger and denial to bargaining and negotiating. And well, maybe we can get back together, maybe it'll work out. Sometimes people do end up getting back together, and it's after a period of time where they had to grow individually to come back and not recreate the same issues that they had before. But the problem is, when people get back together too soon, they don't have enough time to work on that, and it just becomes the same pattern and cycle again that led to the breakup the first time. So if you think about what patterns and cycles came up for you in this relationship, what would you say? And is this a bigger pattern and cycle? If it's something where you're not speaking up or not addressing issues or letting everything slide under the rug, is this something that's been an issue in all of your previous relationships? Or if you were the person who maybe wasn't hearing your partner and what their needs were? Seeing the bigger picture helps you see areas that you can work on for yourself to avoid having the same issues in your next relationship. Being able to name some of the issues and some of the challenges that you had, like lack of boundaries, people pleasing, holding back, not having standards, worried that if you're going to say something, they're going to run away, or maybe your focus was too much on work or on something else and not enough on the relationship. Taking off the rose-colored glasses is going to be one of the biggest tools that'll help you gain the clarity you need to be able to move forward and give yourself the closure that you're looking for. This isn't the ending of something. This is actually the starting off point of you getting to know yourself better and stopping the patterns and cycles that you've had in the past to create healthier and happier relationships in the future. What are the things that you didn't do when you're in a relationship that you wish you could have done? Are there hobbies that you would have wanted to do? How would you have wanted to spend your time on the weekends? This isn't a time to try and escape the heartbreak and pain that you're feeling. When you're getting over a relationship, I know it can be cliche, but self-love is seriously the biggest secret to getting over somebody and to rebuilding yourself after the end of a relationship. Take this as an opportunity to reevaluate what's truly important to you and where you want to be spending your time. Do you want to get involved in a new hobby? Do you want to have planned quality time with girlfriends and girls' nights and things that are going to matter to you? Giving yourself that time and allowing yourself to feel your feelings instead of trying to escape them by being so busy is going to be such a huge part of your healing process. What are the things that you always tell yourself you're going to do but you never do? Make a list of all of it. Is it trying a new workout class, going to Pilates or yoga, or a new hike, or trying a new restaurant, or city hopping? Make plans with friends and solo dates to go out and experience things that you've wanted to do, so that you're not just sitting there in your emotions and heartbroken and sad. You're using this as an opportunity to expand and explore your interests, who you are, and where you want to go. There are going to be moments that you feel sad, but you don't have to sit in that. Give yourself permission to grieve. If you know on the weekends that you're going to wake up sad, give yourself an hour to feel sad and feel that for yourself, but then have a plan of something that you're going to do after, so you're not just sitting in that emotion. I know for myself, after my last relationship ended, I used this as such an opportunity to redefine who I am. Because of this and the work and reflection that I did, my boundaries are so much better. I'm so much more outspoken. I'm so much more authentically myself. This is a time for you to truly become your strongest self. Make a list of all of the things you want to work on. Is it your boundaries, assertiveness, more confidence, having more going on in your social life? Make the life that you want for yourself, so when you meet your next partner, you guys are going to align in so many different ways, and you're going to show up as a more confident, more self-assured version of yourself. Closure and moving on from heartbreak truly does come from getting to know yourself and honestly reflecting on the relationship, the positives and the negatives, and to use that information as a way to grow and evolve within yourself. The best thing that you can do right now is just take care of yourself, your needs, give back to yourself, but also have goals of what you want to be working towards and areas that you can strengthen. I hope you found this helpful. Make sure to check out my breakup healing guide in the description, and make sure to hit subscribe. I hope to see you in my next video.